So what this item does is that there's like from in array they give us like a b. So they are just following the rulebook of like partition, and basically means that you can split them into one item, two item, or three item. So so when you partition, I mean you can create one item, you can create two item, and you can create a three item. And it has like the rule book of saying that it has to be a palindrome. So that the moment you flip it, it's still the same, but for this item it is not. So this is out. And obviously after you create one item, or like it's basically you go by the all the combination that's available in the first cycle. So this is pretty much the first cycle, and you move on to the second cycle. Is that what is like the possible ways that I can actually create it with this guy? And the answer is that is either I can create plus and empty, or I can insert in maybe say this is not really empty, this is this is A, and this is plusing the B. So as you can see, when you plus maybe say the A, sorry, I may think that this one might be actually empty, and this one is plusing the B. So I mean when you plus the empty, it retains as like A, and you can add the remaining of the B, so you end up having a B. And for this item, like the remaining item that is left is just only a B, so I plus a B. I mean like this item is actually plusing a, so it's like it has like maybe say a, and then another A, and then the last cycle is like a B. So if you kind of like flip around this item, because we do know that like if you do conduct operation Z, where there is like a similar item, so I mean like you are following like a similar item, what's gonna actually happen is that like for palindrome to actually work, is that if you use like similar item and it's just like one item, what you're gonna get is like you flip it, it's still gonna be the same. So therefore if it's like one item, you flip it, it's always will be the same. And so for this, it will end up being a palindrome, and therefore we do get the answer from this guy. And I mean for the first cycle, as we see, is that we take out all the single possibility, is that on the first cycle is that we can either group this into one item, group this, or group the entire thing. And the third group is obviously out of the picture already. And another thing is that if say I have two to get like a palindrome, I can have like two items that are the same. because you've kind of like, it got to do with like similarity. If a lot of like items is like similar, you flip it, it's still under the valid zone of things. So I mean, when you talk about like this first group, like what is like the remaining items that you can actually play around with, is the A and the B. So I mean, you can either play with like plussing one or two of it. So this is like one item, this is like two item, and then obviously this guy is gonna say that, oh, I only have like one item left, which is the B, the plus B, and this guy, he has no more vacancy, he has 0 vacancy, so he can't do anything more. This guy has 1 vacancy, which is the B plus B. So this is all the every singular pattern, and obviously this first group, it falls under the palindrome. And then we go on to the last one, which is that we see that the rule book is that I mean, for a palindrome to work, 2 items like similar, it's okay, and 1 item you obviously flip and it's under the valid zone. So this whole group is all a palindrome, both this item and this item, this item, and this item is also a palindrome. So these 2 groups are the main groups that are being sent back to the system as being palindrome. When we actually look at all these items, the spells that they are casting, is very brute forcey way, because from what you see is that you give the in array, you take the in array, and you just start to actually split them into all possible groups. It's a very brute forcey way, and when you talk about like a very brute forcey way of like doing things, it really just reminds you a lot to do with having backtracking. Because backtracking, it has like a subcategory of like doing just a lot of like this brute force work. And the question is a lot of asking, like give me like maybe say a palindrome when you want to have maybe say like a detect of like a palindrome. You got to do a lot with checking of like whether there's like the similar groups or not. And for this case, it's like this is considered one group. Like each of the item is like considered one group. And another thing is that whatever we're trying to actually create, we've been creating a lot of like all this every single like we are trying to create every single group possible. So this is obviously one group, and this is the other group, and another group, a group, group, group. So like in fact, like we are just trying to actually speed out and actually get as many groups as much as possible. That's what we are trying to actually achieve. And obviously you can always use the brute force to actually fight against the main character. And the thing is this, that whatever we are trying to do is actually very brute forcey already. So that is like our argument, because whatever you do is that, okay, let's create the first possible group, the second possible group, the third possible group. Every single possible group, we are actually creating all of them, and then it just complements. Go hand in hand. Like it's just using whatever brute force is actually trying to do. And then like after you create every single group, and then you can start to actually pinpoint, okay, using the rulebook of like the palindrome of all these items, which one actually falls under the category of like being a palindrome. And obviously we, among all the groups, we put in there's like these two patterns. It falls under the rule of like palindrome, and therefore we get back the answer. So I mean, that's pretty much it. Obviously all these items are the spells that's been casted, the rulebook based on the Leetcode questions, and of course, like I mean, the core objective of this whole entirety thing is whether to actually find this palindrome amongst like this in array that's been given to us. So yep, everything comes to an end.